Is the Cabinet concerned about how the guns that are being used in the recent spate of hold-ups are getting through our borders?
Well, guns. This has been a long pressing issue. You would have recalled that early on in the life of this administration, we would have issued at least 2 gun amnesties to allow persons to surrender these unlicensed firearms and these authorized carry of these firearms. It's beyond us. I mean, certainly we have porous borders. These are issues that we have been upfront with the public. With the several hundred bays and inlets that we have, heaven knows how many times that these borders would have been breached for contraband goods like firearms to be able to enter our shores. There's certainly the likelihood that they would have entered our official ports it's low. So it means that they would have been imported here by nefarious purposes. We did look at the whole question of the spate of broad daylight gun crimes that are taking place. We would have consulted with members of the constabulary who are monitoring from a surveillance standpoint the various camera positions we have. I certainly did indicate to the Cabinet yesterday that we have a regime in place to expand the footprint of that surveillance. And of course, we are going to have to work along with all of the businesses to ensure that even where these surveillance cameras are in place, that it is a necessary part of the interdiction that would help with interdiction of criminals. But from a prevention standpoint, we may need to encourage businesses to have a bit more security put in place. Of course, this is going to carry up the cost of doing business. And of course, underlying all of this is the state of the economy. Once the economy continues to operate at a level where there are high levels of unemployment, we are likely to see a continuation. So clearly the pressure is on the government, and the will is certainly there to expand the economy, to give people economic opportunities so that they can go back to the level of security that we have all enjoyed, and to have meaningful, positive, meaningful ways of earning an income. But the Cabinet did take a look at that issue, and of course, there has to be increased surveillance, not only from the standpoint of electronic surveillance, but from the surveillance of the police force as well. And of course, by everyone just becoming even more aware of their particular surroundings. It's an unfortunate development, and it's something that we're hoping to apply the resources, the necessary resources, so that we can stem it, and such that it does not become chronic, and there is no further need for us to look at these matters. And of course, where guns are involved, there's always a possibility that there could be violence from these guns and the potential for persons to lose their lives or to become significantly injured. So it is an alarm that the Cabinet is concerned about, but there are certainly constraints that we have to work with going forward.
One of the things I think that is of concern is that last night it appeared to move from businesses to private homes, and that is much more difficult to surveil. Apparently there was an armed robbery and gun throps in an apartment. How are we going to deal with that? That's a different shift.
And again, as I'm saying, each of us have to become increasingly aware of our circumstances, our surroundings. Certainly, as far as residencies are concerned, lights that on the property that are certainly going to be able to detect movement and heat often help. From any criminologist will tell you that light and sound are things that scare criminals away. Having a guard dog or any kind of guard animal would obviously help as well, but being aware of your surroundings and taking the necessary safety precautions are things that we can do to fortify. Clearly, where there is criminal intent, they're at work 7/24 to find ways and means of overcoming even the best of security that we put in place. So we're all at risk. There are issues as well that neighborhoods could do to have neighborhood watch, to have alarm systems implemented in the communities where if there's a breach in any one area, that there could be a number that persons could call, or there could be an alarm system put in the community to alert the rest of the community. There are a number of things that we can do to protect ourselves from increasing crime. I note that there is a social media page called Crime Antigua, and I certainly reference it from time to time, and to the persons who have developed it and continue to propagate it, I think that they're doing a useful job, but I think more can be done at a communal level to ensure that we are protecting each other.